Okay, so number 5, let f of x be this fourth degree polynomial. One thing I noticed about immediately, the fourth degree polynomial is missing a third degree term, by the way. It says, given that the equation f of x equals 0 has 4 real roots, explain why it can be factored. Well, it looks like it's into 2 quadratics at this point. So what I'm going to do is make some attempt to do that, and I'll go to the whiteboard to write that down now. So let's write down what f of x is. And f of x is equal to x to the fourth power. And then it's going to be, I'm actually looking at the piece of paper now, minus 10x squared. Again, it's missing a third degree term. That's 12x plus 2. I'm sorry, minus 2. Sorry about that. All right, so they didn't ask you to factor. They said that it could be factored. But what they told you that there were 4 real roots. That's what you've been given. So that means this f of x can be factored. X, let's say the real roots are going to be r1, r2, r3, r4. So, bottom line, looking at that, it's x minus r1, x minus r2, x minus r3. I don't know what the real roots are, by the way, and x minus r4. Well, one thing I notice over here is I could just, multiply these two out over here, and let's see what that gives us. That would give us x squared. Then if you looked at that, what are you going to get? Let's take a look at that. That's going to be, let's see, plus, well, you know what, I'll write minus down. I'll write a plus down. So minus r1, minus r2, x, and then it's going to be plus r1, r2. Right, what's the next one going to be? X squared plus minus, let's see, r3 minus r4, x plus r3, r4. So I have it in the form that I got over here. So let's write this down, x squared. I'm just going to say that whatever these things sum together, they sum to some number, by the way. I'm just going to say these two sum together. Let's just say it's A. And I'll just simply say the R1, the R1 times R2, just another number. Again, I don't know what it is, it's B. Then what do you get? X squared. And then over here, I don't know, I'll call this thing, let's call it C. And the next thing I'm going to put down is that R3, R4 would be the letter D. All right, so I got the kind of form they want. And I'm going to say that's okay. But what I do, I want to see if I can explore a little bit more by just multiplying it out and see if I can say something about about these coefficients. And I'm looking at the A, B, C, and D. I'm not saying I can say much about them, but if you were to multiply this thing out, let me go through that with you. You get x4. All right. By the way, I'm distributing this thing across those terms at this point. Then what are you going to get? You're going to get cx cubed. Then you're going to get dx squared. Let's do this one. What are you going to get? You're going to get plus, let's see, ax cubed. What else do you get? You get plus ac x squared. Then what do you get? Let's take a look at this. You're going to get adx. I'll put this over here. Then you get plus bx squared. Let's see, plus bcx. And then you get plus BD. All right. What do I know about this thing over here? A couple different things. I know matching coefficients, let me just get a highlighter out for you. And I'm going to say this, I hope it's clear as day that has to be that. All right. And I hope it's clear as day that A plus C has to be 0. And someone says, why is that? Because there is no cubic term. So let me write that down for you. So I'm going to say A plus C must be equal to 0. Now, what does it really say? It says A is minus C, all right? Or you might want to say C is minus A. Same meaning. All right, let's put the next one down, all right? So let's do the squares then. What do you get? You get D plus AC plus B is equal to, And what does a square sum together? Let's take a look at that. So we're summing the squares together, and the squares would sum together to be minus 10. Let's write that down. All right, let's do the next one, looking at it, and that's going to be, let's see, AD plus BC is going to be equal to, and again, I'm looking at the linear term, and what the coefficient on that would be plus 12. Let me write that down. And last but not least, we got BD is equal to, and this is the constant term, this is going to be equal to minus 2. All right, let's write that down, minus 2. All right, I'm going to use this fact over here to maybe simplify this equation a little bit. And so what I'm going to be doing is, I think I'll just get rid of the C in the problem. All right, so let's write this down. The first equation is going to be D, and then it's going to be minus. The reason I'm saying that is that the C is actually minus A. So this can be minus A squared plus B is equal to minus 10. All right, let's do the next one. Next one I'm seeing is AD. And then I'm going to say minus. And the reason for that, the C is minus A. So minus AB. And that equals 12. All right? What's the last guy going to be? BD equals minus 2. Let me think about this for a moment, see if this is going to be easy to do. And let's take a look at that. I am say that actually looks pretty tough to do, actually. Right? When I'm looking at this thing, there's 3 unknowns, 3 equations. It's not linear. All right? I'm seeing the squares in that. It makes it a little bit difficult for me. And I'm seeing these products over here as well. So I'm going to say maybe, you know what, I don't think I want to solve for those things yet. And they didn't even ask for that. What they asked for, they said, show that it can be factored in the following way. And someone says, you didn't even answer the question yet, and you're right. I just kind of explored it. So what I want to do is write down what I do know about this. And I do know this over here. Right, I know that. And what does that really say to me? That f of x, let me just remind you what we just showed. F of x is going to be x4 and minus 10x squared plus 12x minus 2. And what we did is we factored it. Remember, we said x minus r1, x minus r2. You get the idea. You remember we did that. I'll just erase this over here, hoping you remember that anyway. And that's going to be equal to what? And we said that it's equal to x squared plus, I'm going to remind myself, by the way, ax plus b. And then the next thing I got is x squared plus cx plus d. And over here, if you recall, I said that A was equal to minus C, or you could say C is minus A. I'm going to go with the C is the minus A. So this can be written as x squared plus AX plus B, and then you get x squared minus AX plus D. Now, what did they say? They said I could rewrite this guy in this form. And let's write down what they said. Let's see if it's true, that I'm going to just replace things. So x squared. It looks like they have an S instead of an A, so put this over here, SX. If that's true, this guy would be x squared minus SX, and then they got 2 letters over here, P and Q. So yeah, we showed this already. So this is QED. We actually answered this part of the question. Thank you.